Have you ever stopped to think about how that shirt you're wearing got from some factory halfway across the world to your closet? Or how the movie you're about to binge watch is just there, ready at the click of a button? You might think those are totally separate worlds, right? Well, they're actually connected by one single powerful idea that has totally reshaped our economy. Let's get into it.
Okay, picture this. You order a real, physical book. It has to be found in a warehouse, picked off a shelf, put in a box, and shipped to your house. Then, you stream a movie. That just beams down from a server somewhere. They feel like completely opposite processes, don't they? But what if I told you they're both run by the exact same business philosophy? So what's the secret sauce connecting them both?
To really get what's happening now, we've got to jump in the time machine and go way back. Let's rewind to the age of the factory floor, to the classic idea of production management. Back in the day, business was pretty much all about making stuff. Physical, tangible products you could literally pick up and hold. The entire focus was on the manufacturing process itself. How do we turn a pile of raw materials into a finished product?
And the goals were super straightforward. The big questions were always the same. How do we crank out more widgets, but faster? How can we squeeze every last drop of efficiency out of that assembly line? And, maybe most importantly, how do we slash the cost of making every single item? It was a world totally defined by the factory.
But then, everything changed. The economy grew way beyond just making physical things, and the way businesses thought had to evolve right along with it. And that brings us to the modern era, the era of operations management.
And this right here, this is the big aha moment, the single most important change. Operations management takes all those lessons learned from the factory floor and applies them not just to goods, but to services as well. So that's the key. It covers everything from building a car to running a streaming platform. Basically, it's the master playbook for how a modern company gets anything done.
Now check this out. This chart really just lays it all out, plain and simple. You see the scope explode from just manufacturing to both goods and services. The focus isn't just on cost anymore. Now quality and flexibility are just as important. And the goal? Well, the goal shifts from just make a thing to make the customer happy. And that is a massive, massive shift in thinking. This quote from our source material really just nails it. It gets to the why behind the change. In the world we live in today, just being cheap isn't enough to win. Companies have to be good, they have to be able to pivot on a dime, and they have to keep you, the customer, happy. That's the new reality. That's the game now.
Okay, I know this can all sound a little theoretical, so let's make it real. Let's talk about a company that is the absolute poster child for this whole evolution, Amazon.
Just look at their journey. Back in the 90s, Amazon was a classic production management problem, right? Their whole world was warehouses and shipping physical books. Then, they built this insane global logistics network for all kinds of physical stuff. But then, boom, 2006, Amazon Web Services, or AWS, a purely digital service that, let's be honest, now runs a huge piece of the internet we all use every single day.
And that story, right there, perfectly captures the entire shift we're talking about. Amazon transformed from a company that was laser-focused on the production of physical stuff into a modern operations powerhouse, managing a gigantic physical goods empire and a world-leading digital services business, all under the same roof.
So how on earth did they pull all this off? With a toolkit that would have been pure science fiction just a few decades ago, we are talking sci-fi level stuff here. Warehouses buzzing with robots, advanced automation everywhere you look, and AI that's so smart it's practically predicting what you want to buy before you even know it yourself. This is what modern operations looks like in the wild.
Okay, so this is all great for big companies, but why should you care? What does any of this actually mean for your day-to-day life?
It matters because this whole evolution forces companies to obsess over the things on this chart. The new endgame isn't just about making the cheapest thing anymore. No, it's about making you happy. And that means a relentless focus on the quality of what you buy and the flexibility to get you exactly what you want when you want it.
So let's just boil it all down. What's in it for us? Well, it means better stuff. It means companies are in a constant race to win us over with better quality products and cooler, more innovative services. It fuels a super competitive global economy, which is good for everyone. And it pushes us to be smarter about how we use all our resources, from raw materials to our own brainpower.
And all this brings us to one last huge question. We've seen the journey from the old factory floor all the way to our front door.
But with things like AI and automation getting more powerful by the second, what's next? What does the next evolution of operations even look like? That's the question that's going to define the world we live in next. Something to think about.